You're listening to Stories to Create with your host, Cornell Bunting. Author, motivational speaker, and founder of ES Each Episode. Cornell sits down with inspiring voices to uncover the stories that shape who we are and who we're becoming. Get ready to listen, learn, and be inspired. The show starts now.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Stories to Create podcast right here at ES Club. I'm your host, Cornell Bunting. Today, my co-host, as you guys know, he's been on the show before. He actually co-hosted the show before. Bernard Faithful.
Yeah, we in the building.
This is beautiful. Listen, today edition, though, is a little different. Mental health. What would they say? It's on the what do you call that word I'm looking for? It's on the prospect or the aspect or the, I can't think of the word, but hey, we gonna find that word. But listen, the question is, how did we get here? And so on the panel today, we have my brother Ronald Marshall. Yes?
Yep.
This is good. We have my new brother right here. Did you bring the book?
I didn't bring the book, but my name's Ethan Campbell. I'm an author of a bok.
Yeah.
It's Chivalry Death for men.
Ethan Campbell. Yeah, and then of course we have Jephte Forges.
Yes.
This is good.
Hi.
All right, I love it. Listen, and of course, guys, we got some questions. That were thrown at us. And then we got some questions from the ladies. So we're going to hear from these guys, their take on what that looked like. It was supposed to be 6 of us, but one of the guys said he had like a stomach bug going on. So I told him, hang out. It's whatever the stomach bug look like. You know, we're going to work that out. We'll talk later on that. So it's a beautiful thing. This is good. So I'm excited, man. Hey, man.
So the people that's supposed to be in the room, they're in the room.
They're in the room, yeah. That's it. Listen, guys.
Blessings to that man out there with the stomach bug.
Yeah.
But this is an opportunity for the people that's in the room. So,
Yes.
Take advantage of it.
There you go. Listen, and welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
And for our listeners, you know, we normally take them on a little tale, you know, a little journey on where you guys were born, grew up, all that stuff. We're not going to really do all that today because we got a lot to cover today. And so me and Bernard, we going to take turns. Of course, we going to give our input as well. But we don't want you to drag out what you're talking about too much. We get right to the punch.
Rapid fire, is that what you're saying?
Just
rapid fire.
boom. Hit it right in there. So listen, guys, I got you guys, okay? I told you guys all the time, I got you guys. And so, first question.
Wait.
Hey, that was not script either.
Listen, people listen to people who they like. And
This
they
is true.
understand
This
where
is
they're
true.
coming from, right?
Yes.
I think that we need to get these young men.
Yes.
Young men.
Yeah.
To go ahead and give some type of summary of who you are, where you come from, things like that.
I love that.
And then the audience be like, all right, I'm attracted to that person, this personality, where he came from, things like that. All right.
There you go.
You know me, man.
Hey, you see why he's the co-host?
This is not my
see why he's the co-host? It's a beautiful thing. No, I love that. So you guys you guys know too much about me already. So we gonna start with Ronald over here. Just reintroduce yourself and
Ronald Marshall from New Orleans, Louisiana. I make candles, aka the Candle Man. I'm a personal trainer as well. I love life. I love men. I like connecting with men, and I like it to where we can begin to really connect and build and grow. And this is right here is like my safe space when it comes down to men.
Beautiful.
Right? When men come together and do what men do and build and grow and just develop one another.
Oh, definitely.
Iron sharpens iron, right?
Iron
Absolutely.
sharpens.
But we not gonna skip Ronald. I know you. I've seen you around. Like, come on, bro. You just skipped a lot of stuff. We want the audience to come and be like, "That's my favorite character."
Yeah.
Then we'll kill you off later, right?
Yeah.
Then we get more ratings. But
Yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah.
You put yourself out there just a little bit for the audience, a little bit more. I know you do a lot of things in the community. You just said you the candle man.
Yeah.
That, I mean, everybody knows you as that. How do you market yourself? You know, all that good stuff. If you able to.
Yeah. No. Without a doubt, I didn't want to make it too long, but well, I mean, I love God. Number one, that's God is first and foremost in my life and everything that I do.
Yeah.
I'm always going to honor God in everything that I do. I'm a mind minister. I'm a minister. I heavy in the church. I'm a candle man. I love making candles. It's a massage oil candle, a candle that melts down into an oil. You can put it over your whole body. I do personal training as well. I love training people. That's my passion. This is one of my clients right here.
This is true.
You know, we meet 4 times a week.
Yep.
What else? I was in the military for 10 years as well.
What branch?
Army.
Army.
So I was in the Army for 10 years, learned a lot about myself and how to develop. I suffer from PTSD, and I really harnessing down on the aspect of becoming a better man mentally, because a lot of times we battle different things that goes on in our minds. And I believe that God gave me a candle business to really light a fire under me to understand who I really am within me, because it humbled me in such a way that I went from the war zone to making candles. And people look at that concept and like, how did you go from the Army to now making candles? Right. It's such a sensitive direction in such a way that women like more than anything versus men. And to see a man do that is a intriguing thing that people look at. And I love it because it really allows me to get closer to God, because God is that light.
Beautiful.
Right? God showed me that I'm that light. And on the way to really get his interest or pique him to look at me is by helping others light their fire.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
I love that. I
like that.
All right, young man. What's going on over in your world?
My name's Ethan. I think I'm the old man in the crew. I'm 59 years old.
Good,
but
okay.
I do appreciate the young man accolades. I'm actually an author of a book called Is Chivalry Dead?
Yeah.
I'm a farm boy from Oregon, but I've been around quite a bit. And at this point, what I really love is supporting men. That might sound very strange, but like Ronald said, this is my safe place. This is the modern day campfire, so to speak. Where men got together and actually spoke to each other.
Yeah.
I only have one message for men. It's really simple, and that is, men, you are important. And being important, you most likely have a divine purpose set by God.
Yeah.
And to that end, you should be as strong as you can be, mind, body, and spirit, to fulfill that purpose. And so I'm very fortunate to be here today. Jephte called me up and said, be someplace at 9 o'clock. I had no idea where I was headed, but luckily I shaved, and I'm very happy to be here.
This is good.
You're looking
All right.
very sharp.
Yeah,
Your
man.
hair looks good today.
Welcome, man.
I want to call you Dr. Ethan. Are you a doctor?
I am not a doctor. I am not a
Can I say
doctor.
doc?
If anything, I'm
Doc
a
Ethan,
doctor
not
of
yet.
hard knocks. But
Yeah.
other than that,
There you
I
go.
think I'm in good company here. So.
Beautiful.
Appreciate that.
All right, Jephte.
Well, my name is Jephte, originally from Haiti. Lived in Naples most of my life. My background really is pretty much human resources. I've dealt with a lot of seniors. And one of my favorite aspects of working in senior living and dealing with seniors is I got a chance to really engage with a lot of the older men from the past generation. And I've learned a lot from them and how they actually contributed towards the infrastructure of the whole entire nation, if not the world, really.
Right.
And biggest difference between then and now that I've realized is that men from that era, they typically just kind of hold everything in. There was a different level of respect for them and for themselves. And men now, there is no purpose. They feel like there is no purpose, right? And look, subjectively speaking, okay. Now, I will say my ultimate mission, my main reason for being here is to actually gather.
Yeah.
Getting together with you all guys and talk about mental health.
Beautiful. I love that. Love that. Sir Bernard.
Yeah.
Get them another little teaser, man, of, what's going on in Bernard's world right now.
Well, we got some things going on, man. This is not the first, and this is not going to be the last men thing that we have going on in this community. It is much, much needed.
Yeah.
If you look at the statistics and the facts of what's going on in America, just in America, men, we're losing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're losing big time.
Huge.
And if you break it down by ethnicity and things like that, those numbers are very alarming.
Mm-hmm.
So I will pub this. I do have a men's conference coming up. It is invite only. I say it's going to be suited and booted.
Yes.
So everybody talk about how I dress. I want you to be 10 times more than that. I want everybody to be flashy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I want to be able to capture those moments of the great men that are in the room.
Yeah.
And also open up a platform just like we're doing right now today.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. Listen, so I'm really excited, man, to dive into a lot of what this look like. And I gotta say, we are losing so big that when you put top 20 holidays up, and if you was to take a guess, where does Father's Day sit on the top 20 most celebrated holidays? Where do you think Father's Day sit on the top 20? Take a guess.
It's on there.
21.
No.
No, that's where I don't even think it's on the list.
Where is it?
I'd say, number 5?
5.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm being optimistic. Yeah, big time.
I'm just going to say that the country doesn't make money on Father's Day.
No, it does not. I mean, look. Best time to have steak, I'll tell you that, man. Steak and potatoes, best time to have it.
Listen, when I saw where Father's Day sit, I was disappointed. Father's Day sit at number 18.
Wow.
Number 18. Mother's Day sit at number 2, right behind Christmas Day. Halloween sits at number 6.
Wow.
Means we celebrate spirits over the guys. Like, come on,
Little devils.
man. Come on, man.
Right.
Bro, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That is terrible. So we are losing big time, bro.
Yeah.
We're losing big time. So definitely want to dive into some of these questions. Our listeners definitely want to hear what you guys have to say on what you guys take is on that, So don't think of no wrong or right answers when it comes to these, it's your take. Everyone respect everyone, and you know how I talk.
Direct, man.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I just can't put yes down the board.
Right.
But no, this just showed us exactly. Just showed us exactly what men go through. Just that, because I paid attention to it, right? Just exactly what you guys just did. We're suffering silently, and it's good.
Yeah,
We're good with that.
Right.
It's the norm.
Yeah.
Jephte just said, the whole world, like, we don't want the world to know that we're dealing with this, right?
Right.
Because we feel that, and it may just be me, I don't know.
Yeah.
We feel that nobody really cares about what we're going through. You better still wake up.
Right.
You better still go to work.
Yeah.
You better still put food on the table.
Yeah.
You better still take care of those kids, the wife, the girlfriend, whatever you have, because nobody's asking you how you're doing.
Right.
I asked Jephte, how you doing today? He's like, well, I know Cornell done filled you in. And I said, listen, I just asked you, how are you doing? I wasn't talking about all the other situations.
And you got to tell, bro, that's one of the things you know about me. When we talk about stuff, bro, we talked about it.
Yeah.
It's not all these other people, you know what I'm saying? So that's it. So let's jump into this, because I don't even know if we're going to have a whole lot of time to cover this whole thing. So what is one moment in your life where you realize your mental health needs attention? Who want to take a first stab at it? But
I'll answer that one.
Yeah.
I'll answer that one. And I think it's something that a lot of men go through, especially, like I said, I'm 59, so I'm probably one of the older guys in the group. And that's when you kind of get phased out of your career.
Right.
And it's not a big conspiracy theory. It's just something that happens naturally.
Yeah.
You can certainly say DEI or those other acronyms, but I think it is something that's more natural in terms of getting phased out. And Ronald was talking earlier about how, he has his own thing, and you're building your own thing. And,
right.
It's really important to have that purpose, because when everything is aligned underneath the security of I'm going to show up, get a paycheck. This is who I am. I'm a respectable member of the community.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it's no longer there.
Right.
You know, your whole world kind of collapses around you, and you're trying to put the pieces back together. But it's almost to put the pieces back together because that's such a foundational part of the whole puzzle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I knew when I walked into a dollar store, listening to Phil Collins, I Don't Care Anymore, and literally vacillating from crying to wanting to pummel the little lady that was right next to me. And it took me 3 times listening to that song before I walked out, and walked out naturally, like, oh, I didn't even think about it. I finally just walked out, and I thought something's got to give. And so we were doing family therapy at the time, and I called the gentleman up. He's like a father figure, and we talked, and about a week later, he's like, you need to tap out.
Beautiful.
So,
you know, I got to say, for me, man, I had gotten to age 40, 46 right now. But I neglect, well, I'm not going to say neglect. I kind of swept a lot of what I was going on under the rug because of what had happened. I went to jail, lost all this money, all these different things, but I was making it look like I was dealing with it. Very good. But when I hit 40, bruv, there was a few things that happened that was like, listen, man, you got to acknowledge this. If you don't acknowledge this, you're in trouble.
you can't outrun yourself.
Oh, yeah, you can't. You
cannot
can.
outrun
And,
yourself.
you know, I mean, I died, bruh.
Yeah.
I died, left my body for 16 minutes. So it's serious business. You know, it's very serious when you understand what is going on and you acknowledge it. I'm going to leave it right there for right now.
Well, if I may interject, I think it's so serious. It's either, for a lot of the guys, it's, you know, I say most of the warriors are in jail. They're either, you know, the end game is, you know, sickness, death, drug abuse, jail, institutions. I mean, it is serious.
Yeah,
serious.
Yeah. It is.
You want to go to the next question?
Yeah.
I want to, can I ask
Go ahead,
a question right quick? When I first found out, it was a day I was in the Army, and I was dealing with one of my soldiers one day, and that was this emotional feeling that came up on me that I just wanted to cry.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
Yeah.
And that was my first episode of trying to understand, like, this struggle of I got something wrong with me. Something's going on that's not normal.
Yeah.
For me, because I'm training my soldiers. I'm dealing with my soldiers from day to day. I'm being a man.
Right.
I'm being hard. I'm being strong. I'm being a leader. But then this emotional feeling comes on me, and I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So that's when I started seeking out help to understand, what is this?
Yeah.
And that's when the doctor started telling me, this is what's going on.
Right.
And your body's remembering what took place in that traumatic experience.
Yeah.
And now it's coming up randomly from time to time. It's not something that, it's not even something that triggers it. It just comes.
It just comes, yeah.
So it's something that when that started happening, that's when I started dealing with it and then started realizing, hey, I need to go see a therapist.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when things are going on with us as men, we try to hide it.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
We don't, and we don't ever think that we actually need the help.
Right.
We think, I'm strong. I got this.
Yeah.
I've been making it happen.
Yeah.
Right. But then this moment comes and you like, okay, I don't know what this is. So how do I really deal with it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that literally comes from just seeking out to others to really understand, because there's somebody else that understands really what's really going on.
We just throw this away. Like all you need to ask one question. If they feel safe in the location, they feel positive about the people that they're discussing with. Bro, men could talk. Men would tell you
we
exactly
go
what
at
they
it.
want
Oh,
to.
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So if you got a woman out there and she like, oh, he's not expressing himself, he's not emotional. He don't feel this is not a safe environment for him.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So if you ask a man one of these questions, we can have the whole. We don't even got to ask no more questions.
We going at it.
So go ahead, man.
Yeah. Actually, one of the safest environments for me is the gym. Believe it or not, for most guys, they hate leg day. Okay,
Yeah.
leg day is like I can't
I'm gonna cut
stand
you
it.
off though, because it's too many naked people in this. That's a temptation.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's also,
I love it too, but I be talking mess
Just
about
be careful about talking about leg day, all right?
it's motivation
Go ahead, I'm
too.
sorry, man.
It's motivation too. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I always had this theory where if your problems, if the world gets heavy, just go and squat it, right?
Okay.
Go and do your leg press or do your heavy squats or whatever.
That's a great example.
That is a good one.
Squats
It works.
hit every muscle in the body.
Every single
And it makes you
muscle.
think about nothing else but squats.
But
and you
squats.
burn calories for 3 days off a leg day.
Exactly.
Bruh.
And I started noticing trapped emotions literally coming out of me. Like there are times where I would literally work out and I don't even know what's going on with me. I would just go all in, do the heaviest 5 to 8 reps I could possibly do. And then all of a sudden I start tearing up. And then I just like, okay, I got 3 more in me. Let me just keep going. You know?
Yeah.
And it's not physical pain,
Yeah.
but it's definitely something that was trapped deep inside.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm like, this is my therapy.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at. This
Yeah,
is what I
okay.
need.
Yeah.
But I find that it's always nice. It's always better to actually go and see a professional.
See, now I want to hear your answer to number 2 question.
All right. I'm gonna say something real quick. So Michael Beasley, he's a basketball player, former basketball NBA player. He talks about that. He talks about him playing basketball, and that's his therapy.
Yeah.
And they asked him, "When do you cry?" He said, "When I'm on the court and I'm playing. You guys don't know because I'm sweating."
Yeah.
And if you actually pay attention to, he did a 1-on-1 with another NBA player, former NBA player. And you can tell that he was very emotional, you know, so that makes a lot of sense. Then back to you, Ronald, as you described just being in the military and basically going through these emotions, and you talking about you just felt the emotion of wanting to cry. And that goes to our next question. Growing up as a kid, what were some things that you were taught that basically was saying that, this is a man expressing his emotions. This is how you're supposed to be. This is how you're not supposed to be. This is what you should and should not do. And what I got from you when you said that, and what we all been taught is that men don't cry.
Right.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every young person carries a story of hope, of struggle, of dreams waiting to rise. But in too many underserved communities, those stories go unheard.
At ease, Inc. Everyone has a story. We believe every voice deserves a chance through mentorship, empowering programs, and storytelling workshops. We help youth discover their purpose, strengthen their mindset, and build a future they can be proud of.
From classrooms in Jamaica to communities across Southwest Florida,
ES is changing lives,
one story at a time.
but we can't do it alone. Join us, become a mentor, volunteer, donate, help us fuel the next generation of leaders, creators, and change makers.
Visit ahazink.org today, because when you help a young person share their story, you help them change their world.
Right.
Or suck it up.
Yeah.
Be a man.
Be a man.
Don't cry.
Yeah.
Right? Those 3 words, right? Those 3 phrases. Suck it up. Be a man. Don't cry. Right? Men are not supposed to cry. Like, as a child, that's what has been told, because now you got to go out into the street, right? And you got to go out into the real world. And into the real world, as a man, you're not supposed to cry.
Right.
Because if you show emotions and you start crying, that's weakness. And weakness is not associated, quote unquote, with a man. Because a man is always supposed to be strong. A man is always supposed to have an answer. A man is always supposed to have a solution to whatever's taking place. And as soon as he does not, now he's no longer a man.
Can I take it one step further, too?
Yeah.
Also, if you're in a relationship that's not very healthy, all those words are used against you as a form of allowing abusive, whether psychological, verbal, or even physical, to happen.
And now that man don't feel
you're not
worthy.
man enough. You're not man enough. You know what I mean? And that,
It's like,
Well, let's add another layer
crying.
to it then.
Yeah.
Now you start to really shut down. You are already afraid to show emotion. You thought a person that you are part of, you can trust, you can express a little bit. They turn around and use it against you. Now you really lock up. Now you really like, hey, all right, I'm gonna show people.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
What if we take it a little bit further? Let's say not just a woman, or it's one thing to just deal with what you're dealing with. Another thing to deal with a woman. But a step further, deal with it with a man.
Yeah.
Right? Now I go to another man and I'm vulnerable with this man because I'm thinking this man is my friend and my brother, right? We there for one another. But then I go to him and I be vulnerable and I tell him all about my issues, what's going on with me, that what I need help with, and now that man turns on me. You know what I mean? Now that mental capacity of that man to now go to another man to now be vulnerable to try to figure out I need help.
Right.
I really want to say I need help, but you can't say it because now when I went to a man and the man turned his back on me when I was vulnerable, how do I really ask for help now?
But let me take it one other step further.
Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. So,
Sorry. No. You're
no, I like where this is
This is a
going.
3-hour show, by the way.
Yes. So listen, guys. I know some of you guys wanted to call in on my phone. I did put Do Not Disturb on my phone, but you can call 313-247-8878. If you want to call into the show, we'll put you on speaker. You can ask your question. We're going to get it done. But one of the things I wanted to touch on with what you were just saying is a lot of times, most men are not as developed in the headspace.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're not as developed in the headspace, you can't really give people good information, bro. And so sometime when you talk to some of those people that are not as developed or not as mature, you put yourself in a situation where you could be compromised because they don't necessarily know how to use that or when is the right time to use that, or even if they're supposed to. Right. They don't understand how to measure that or don't really know how to measure that. So I just want to put that out there. One of the things I do is when it comes to guys that I communicate certain things with, I got to have some type of level of understanding where their perception is.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Meet them where they're at.
You have to, because if you don't, it's like having a conversation with guys that you're telling them your dream.
Yeah.
And they're like, bruh, you sound crazy. That's not going to make no sense. You can't do that. You're killing your dream because you're telling someone that
they don't have the capacity to take what you're saying.
Right, no.
But and then it goes to, because everything you're saying is correct.
Yeah.
It goes to nowadays, and we talked about this before.
Right.
The drug dealers, the alcoholics that was on the corner when we was growing up, all the people that the world looked at as bad people. Right. Some of us kind of gravitated towards those individuals because they did have wisdom, knowledge, and things like that, right? Even though they were put themselves in bad situations. Right. But what I say now, because I be so eager to find a mentor, to find someone that I can be like, yo, that's a good leader. There's no real leaders. To me, there's no real leaders anymore. Nobody's stepping up and saying, I'm a mentor. Yeah. I will be able to give you that advice. I think even the older people, they coming down to that level, and they even more immature than what you are at your level. And it's frustrating.
And that's a point I wanted to make with what Ronald was saying is you do get to a point, and that's why I point out I'm a little bit older. Mm-hmm. But I think you guys are, I look up to all of you guys, especially Jephte here, seriously. Yeah. Because even in a short conversation, I could just tell that he was so mature. But my point is that then you get to that point where you realize, okay, now I have to take the reins. Right. I have to be that guy that does the show or be the guy that is motivational or, those things, because now it's like, okay, the torch has been passed. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's just the men to grab that torch and say, okay, I can see the forest for the trees now. let me help these guys come up. Let me see their pain without judging them. Let me, talk about my own, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Really step
Definitely.
into that other side.
Definitely. Actually, Bernard, if you touch on one of those questions in Breaking the Silence, just touch on any one of them.
What you mean?
Any of them, either 8, 9, or 10.
Oh, okay, I got you. Why do you think men struggle to talk about mental health openly?
Openly?
It's not safe.
I think that's
hey, that's a perfect answer right
they
there.
hear you? What'd you say?
Yeah.
It's not safe.
I mean, I also have my own input on that, because oftentimes men communicate their mental health, their struggles in a more aggressive manner, and women cannot receive that, right? In the same sense that men, oftentimes we kind of have to be a container for the female energy and the emotion. Women don't know how to handle that. And so for us to even bring up these issues of that men are going through, right? It's immediately perceived as, just being a part of the patriarchy and wanting control, and us having some type of a privilege over women, and how it's all about, like you said, just not feeling safe, right?
So with you saying that, we're going to throw out the first question from the woman, because we got 5 questions from the woman. And the first one is, what do you wish women should understand better about men and their mental health?
The first thing I would say, listen.
That's what I.
If I really had to really, I mean, I believe that as a man, it probably would have to come from another woman, because I don't think women just really listen to men. But listen, women don't listen to men.
I want to.
Let's
do a praise dance.
Like, I mean, like they hear us.
We're gonna have people coming at us,
but they don't listen to. I mean,
can you break down the difference, though?
So what I mean by this, right?
Yeah.
They hear the words, but I don't think they hear our emotional aspect behind the words itself that is actually happening. They think we're just saying words, and in their mind, they're saying, "Well, he's a man. He should be strong enough. He can deal with this." This is what they're saying in their mind. While we're telling them, hey, look, I'm dealing with a mental issue here, and I really need you to really listen at what I'm going through, because this is the reason why I'm reacting this way.
Right.
Because this is what I went through in the past, and it's a trigger to me. So instead of listening to my triggers, you're going based off the experience of what I did. Right. Ooh. Versus understanding why I did it.
That's
right. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
I like that.
They hear the words, but I don't think they feel the emotional concept behind what actually took place.
So you touch on something there I'm telling you, that's a whole kind of worm right there, because women, they function on how you behave with them. Right. Mm-hmm. They don't care about what's going on with you.
Right.
Then if you're doing this, why are you doing that? You know?
Right. Man.
So
we're not here to bash women, by the way.
We're not doing that.
Without a doubt, love women. But the biggest thing I always wanted is just for a woman to just really listen to what it is that I'm saying.
Yeah. But Ronald, let me give you the flip side of that coin, okay?
Yeah.
I do a lot of street work, all right? Yeah. And that's how I actually met Jephte, and really I checked in to make sure you're okay, if I remember right?
Yeah.
Are you all right? And the point that I make is that it's not up to a woman to go up to a 200 or 300 pound man that's been upset or really mad for maybe a decade or two. Mm-hmm. Men are scary.
Right.
It's up to us men to do that, But men have to get to a point where they're going to take that accountability and responsibility in the community of men. Right. You're no slouch, what I mean? So it's like, if you're upset and you're animated, it's like, holy smokes, But I remember talking to guys where it's like, Ethan, if I talk like this in front of the lawyers, the counselors, the judge, they all say I'm abusive.
Right.
But men hear that as a cry, They don't hear the aggression.
Yeah.
But so I think, yes, it's good that the ladies hear us, but to a certain extent, it's not their ultimate responsibility. Men need to take counsel from men, and men need to be available to each other for that counsel. And a lot of that's been completely broke with the dissolution of homes and, lack of fathers and other institutions that have men around.
Yeah, without a doubt. But when you look at the factors of because I do, because that's the reason why I like being in a circle of men, right? Because I believe, again, iron sharpens iron. As we begin to discuss about what we go through as men, we help each other look deeper into what we ourselves are going through to be able to help us heal, to be better men for that woman, for that kid, for that community, right? But that's how we begin to build and develop and grow. Women can't do that for us, right? Women can nurture, they can love us, but
they can understand.
Right. But a lot of the times, what I mean by they don't listen to us is that when we're trying to explain to them what it is that we ourselves are going through, they don't get it entirely because they are probably looking at it in a different light. You know what I mean? Because they have this book that said men see blue,
right?
Women see pink.
Right. So. And I don't want the woman to feel like we've ganged up on. I'm gonna tell you guys right now what is exactly gonna happen. I'm gonna get some call from some woman, and they're like, "I'm gonna just let you know, you were being terrible. For you. You had these guys attack us, and we weren't there to defend ourselves." So, Bernard, from the woman, the second question that is on the back page. What's the second question from
when
the
you're
woman?
struggling, what is the best way a woman can support you?
I'll answer that. If he wants to leave, let him leave.
Okay.
Right? Especially in the heat of the argument.
Yes.
Oftentimes, he just needs to think.
Yes.
Because when there's so much emotions involved,
right,
you want to be able to clear your mind.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's just going to be like a feedback loop of nonstop.
Stick a pin because I want you to touch more, but this is so important for you guys to hear that. It is okay for you to let that man leave. It is okay. Let him go to blow some steam off for an hour, 2 hours or whatever. And don't think that he's going to go see another woman because they get like that. They're like, that's why I don't want you to leave. But
right.
That's a good point right there to touch, man.
But you say struggle. What kind of struggle, though? That's the thing, because you can say in an argument with a woman, or I can say financial struggle, right, that I'm not really disclosing to my woman at the time.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about financially. Let's talk about struggling with the man responsibilities. The typical man responsibilities. You're supposed to pay bills. You're supposed to have a job all the time.
I think I'm on the wrong show.
You say, is that the responsibility?
You got to be there for the wife emotionally, the kids emotionally.
Yeah.
The responsibilities that the world kind of put on us.
Right.
And you're struggling in that department. Whether you don't have the job that's paying the bill, whether you do have to go 50-50. Whether you do have to split the bills, things like that. Whether you don't have time to really, have childbearing qualities and things like that. So I guess let's discuss that. Does that break it down?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, when you look at the factors of what a man is struggling with mentally, if he can't meet the responsibilities, quote unquote, of what the world says that the responsibilities of a man is, right?
Yes.
So now that man is trying to go from day to day, trying to meet those needs because the society said that this is what a man is responsible for. So now the man is trying to live up to what society says that the man is trying to live up. The first thing back in the past was what? Working out, right? So it was about a man being strong, about looking strong, and that's what a real man looks like. But not always typically. That was always the men that was always a lot weaker, if I'm being honest, right? They looked strong, but they was a lot weaker because of what they was going through mentally, right? And so when we talk about the financial struggles, now I got to go home, I got to go tell my wife, I got to tell my kids, I can't buy this, I can't do this, I can't pay for this bill, right? So now mentally as a man, if he doesn't, I don't feel like a man. If I'm going to speak for me. I won't feel like the man that I need to be responsible to now give my kids, to give my woman, what she wants or even needs, right?
Right.
Or what I actually want to give to her, because it's something I want to give to my woman every day that I come home. And if I can't do that financially, I don't feel.
It's kind of an incurable question in a way.
Right. Because
Well, now let's carry that on. They got that, but now carry it on with the women. Like, all right, your woman understands that you are in this situation.
Right.
How can she help you in that situation? You got all this stuff bearing down on you. How can your woman? Okay.
Yeah.
Break that down.
A woman giving a man positive affirmations in the midst of his struggles give that man strength.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah,
That is
You know
true.
what I mean?
Yeah.
If your woman, if you have a woman,
It's
or if
shocking
you don't
how
have a
little-
woman.
It's shocking how little affirmation it takes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Men don't need
yeah,
men don't
we
need
don't
a
need a
lot.
lot.
Yeah,
You don't need a whole
don't
lot.
need a lot.
All I
We
need,
don't need a lot.
all that man needs is that woman to speak some powerful, positive affirmations into his life.
And then if she can get in alignment just a little
That
bit.
part, yeah.
So when you
little
come in the
bit.
door, you've been out there trying to find a job or doing a job that you never imagined you could do, and you go home, you feel like arguing, and you feel like cleaning the house, and you feel like doing, like, that's what you're talking about, right? You want to argue with them every time they come. You want to fight with the kids.
No. I don't want to fight with the kids. What I mean is having a woman give a man positive, powerful affirmation. So meaning, and when that man comes home, instead of saying, hey, did you do this? Hey, you do that? Instead of getting into an argument, that woman greeting that man with something powerful. Hey, how you doing, sweetheart? How you doing, King?
so
See
proud
how
of you
reverse
for
that,
that.
right?
How was your day? I know,
Yeah.
right? So how you doing, King?
Yeah.
Right? How was your day? Can I get you some water? Can I get you some coffee? Do you want a drink? Can I rub your feet? Right? So that woman greeting that man in such a way, it will make that man feel much more stronger, much more powerful, and inspired to go out there and really make money.
Absolutely.
Right.
I like that. It's, I would say, again, for me, it goes back on how you're developing, how your mindset is developing, how you function. I function a very strange way, and that people would say, I just put it out there. So for me, there's certain times when I shut down. And my women need to understand that I've shut down. You don't add to whatever is going on. I'm in the chill phase right now. So anything else you're gonna do is gonna be too extra. But we talk about all that stuff. I'm a communicator.
Right.
So I'm gonna tell you this is how I'm functioning. If we're having conversation and you see me shut down, just let it be.
Right.
Because and for me, bro, I have this happy bubble that I like my happy bubble. And the minute it look like it's getting poked, we done.
Yeah. Right.
Conversation is done.
But I think that is a important distinction too.
Yeah.
A lot of men, myself included, do shut down. It's almost like a psychological hibernation period.
Right, yeah.
And I think that's okay too, because I think we're just protecting ourselves as well.
You have to.
I think we know that at times we have to be patient. We have to let time mature.
Right.
Certain things can't, so that's a real important point, I think, that gets overlooked a lot.
So
Well, I'm gonna challenge you guys, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna challenge you because you all said this. You said let them walk out. You said shut down. And this is why the women, hey girls, hey ladies, this is why the women do certain things that they do. They start, you walk out, they have to take on the responsibilities not only of you, but of yours, but theirs also. They have to continue the process when you're supposed to be there to take the load off a little bit. You shut down, now they're confused, or they have these thoughts in their heads, and it's always constantly, they don't know what's going on instead of communicating, right?
Yeah.
So these things are typical things, as we all said, we do. I'm gonna go if I'm stressed out and I'm losing that day, let me go ahead and go home, take a nap, wake up, and start all over again. But I have to go home, relax, chill, shut down, basically, right?
Yeah.
I have to do that, but when you're in relationships, we have to understand that these things become problems. It's not really necessarily helping you,
right?
Because you are a part of someone else, right? And when you do those things, it's not helping that communication, that relationship,
right?
So I challenge you guys to try a different avenue, especially when you with someone,
right?
Because think about it, right? And it took me a while. Don't act, I'm not acting like I'm all good. I've always been like this, but it took me a while to over communicate,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, I want to shut down, but let me tell you what's going on, how I'm feeling,
Yeah.
the steps that I need to take, and let's have that communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me let you know where I'm at right now. So if I leave, all this stuff not running in your head. He with another woman.
So-
He doing this. And then all you did was just sat in your car and smoked a cigarette. I don't smoke either, but you just sat in your car and you just chilled out.
Yeah.
But all this stuff, imagine your girl done went out, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, done went out on a girl's trip, and you at home like, wonder what she doing. What she talking to?
Yeah.
Lady ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
But you don't know that because you haven't communicated that, you haven't gave that trust, things like that. Doesn't make sense.
Yes,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Communication I'm actually on your side with this. Over communicating sometimes can be a good thing, but also it can be a bad thing. It's a double-edged sword. Shutting down, in what sense? Do you mean shutting down in a sense of needing to just completely de-escalate before you start taking on certain tasks, or are we talking about emotionally shut down?
So for me, and you guys got to remember, I got a whole different condition and situation. So I died for a lot of, and most of you guys know this. I have situations. So one of the things is I can never put myself in a situation where my blood pressure gets up there.
Gotcha.
So these are things I communicate with a woman that lives with me.
Right.
And so when we're in a situation where you, for whatever reason, you need some answers for something, I can answer. But if I have a long day, you getting the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You getting the bare minimum. And then once I hit that where my needle say, okay, that's it, then I'm done.
All right.
That's really what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So when for me, when I shut down, is literally not to move the needle to where I'm going to be compromised health-wise.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I always find that it's always a great idea to at least communicate that.
Oh yeah.
Say, hey, it's been a really long day. For me, when I go home, I'll probably turn on the PS5 or something like that, maybe for an hour or two, whatever. And then I'm available.
Right.
If not, I have some other projects I'll probably take on.
Right.
But I'm very communicative with the women in my life.
Right.
And so it's funny, opposites attract, right? Mm-hmm. I find myself attracting the complete opposites of me.
Yeah.
Where I like to communicate. Yeah. I like to communicate. And the reception isn't well received.
Right.
Or they shut down themselves.
Yeah.
So I have to back off. And then so that communication doesn't come from them as to what they need from me to help them feel safe, right? So it's a lot of these like not communicating, and it goes both ways.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
But do you say it's a double-edged sword because the people that you're trying to over-communicate with, they're not receptive?
Yes.
Or are you saying that over-communication is it's a good and a bad thing?
Because over time, what happens, my own personal experiences, people get used to it. And whenever you're having like a bad day or just a normal day where you just don't feel like overly communicating,
right,
it gets perceived as like you being very terse,
right,
very Spartan-like,
right,
you being very...
It's and the reason why, if you don't mind, I'm going to jump in here. I'm old school shut down.
Yeah,
I'm shut down for years, if not decades.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Because I need to save this and I need to save everything.
Right.
Shut down.
Yeah.
And there is a and the reason why I'm so blunt about it is because there is a protection mechanism behind it.
Oh yeah.
If you're in an abusive situation, sometimes you got to shut it down.
Yeah.
And so and that's what I was always impressed about you, and I told you that one of the first times we spoke was how eloquent you are in terms of how you speak and in terms of being in touch with a lot of things. But I gotta say, I'm polar opposite. I'm trying to get to your end, but I also understand your pain of over communicating, because sometimes you just got to put some markers in the sand.
Yeah.
You know, especially for the ladies to follow, because you know, at the end of the day, we still got to lead it, whether we're in, you know.
Exactly.
So what I want to touch on, you know, and I want to make sure I'm doing all you guys that are watching, listening, justice on, you know, addressing mental health. How did we get here? And I know we touched on eras where we're like, so if you guys are in a relationship, how did you even get there anyways? And so one of the things I want to say is to you guys out there, when you getting in a relationship with someone, there has to be that point where we got to get to know each other before we make a decision that we going to do this. And if you're truly listening to that, or you truly listening to each other, bro, a lot of these things that come in later shouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I'm a challenge.
Here's why I say that. If I'm listening to you and you're listening to me, you understand the simple stuff. You understand what is going to make me tick. You know what that is. There's all these different things that you're already going to know because we got to know each other before we took this step.
Right.
Now we on this journey now. And what does that look like? So this is why I'm saying, like, you know, how we get here, like all the different things that happen to compromise a situation or trigger something for a female to act a certain way, or a guy to get to a point where it's like, you know what? I don't see that no one listened to nothing I say, and so I'm just gonna just keep this to myself, and I'm gonna just go in and just lock away from the world, and then at some point do things to myself. This is how a lot of people function and what that look like. So how can we speak to these individuals that are out there fighting with a lot of that right now and struggling, where they're like, yo, I don't know how to do this?
Well, I think the first thing that's really important is to actually engage in your own life first. And that might sound silly and stupid, but especially if a man, like, you know, the first time I saw Ron, I was like, okay, here's a man of substance. You know? First time I saw you. First time I saw you, Jephte. You know, these are men of substance. Right. Because you live as men of substance. Right. And I think that's the first thing that's most important. Then after that, then you're able to actually affect change, affect things. But the most important thing in mental health, in my opinion, is you have to take responsibility of your own mental health.
Yes.
You have to. And mental health isn't something that's inactive. It's in your head.
Right.
You know, I mean, I think we all know as well as anybody that the mind and the body are connected, and it's important as men to, you know, marshal our body. I mean, you talk about, you know, getting to trigger points. You know as well as anybody how important the body is.
Right,
so
right.
If we don't live within our lives well, then I think the rest of it's a moot point. But
definitely.
We have to prioritize ourselves as men.
I like that.
And then be honest with others about it.
And as you grow up, you absolutely right. You have to acknowledge it first, right? And when you grow up and you become mature and you're reading books and you changing your thought process, you have to realize you got to take time to dissect, why do I shut down? Mm-hmm. Why do I hate drama? Why do I get upset when these certain things happen? And I can just talk about myself, and I just realized it's certain things I've realized, like, this is why I'm like that. Yeah. And one is like drama and chaos. Yeah. And, you know, I'm from the city of Detroit, bro. It's like you walk around the corner, you got chaos, you got drama, you got people getting killed, things like that. Yes. So my family was always a part of that. Mm-hmm. So when somebody called me as a 40-year-old and tell me about drama and what's going on, I snap.
Yeah.
Like, what? And I'm questioning them, like, what did you do? Why are you in this stuff?
Right.
Why you keep doing this and repeating this stuff?
Right.
Yeah. And then I had to fall back and say, why am I like that? Yeah. Why I'm not supportive when somebody called me and they say they in something?
Right.
The reason being is I've experienced that when I was a child. My parents fought all the time. I'm from a city that's always doing certain things. That a lot of things are going on in the streets, and I end up getting out of it.
Yeah.
So if I done got out of it, I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had to realize this is why I snapped. When you call me, you talk about, we all about to go jump this bird. Like, what the like? Why
Right.
you
Like,
no, that ain't me anymore. I'm not the gangster.
Yeah.
I don't remove myself from that. But I had to realize, all right, because I was struggling with like, damn, I know and I feel that when they do that, and talk about family too, when they do call me, I'm not supportive at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, and I need to work on that. But I had to realize, acknowledge that, hey, the reason you were like this is because you done fought so hard to get away from it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, actually,
Absolutely.
as a matter of fact, I had my brother who actually called me a couple weeks ago about an issue, and I reacted the same way you reacted. You know, I snapped. I'm like, yo, like, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's like us men, we have this built-in tendency to fix things.
Yes.
We just want to, it's like the problem's there, let's just fix it so that way it doesn't become a problem again, right? But because we can see things objectively in somebody else, right? They themselves can't really understand. It's like the saying, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others, while a fool learns from his own mistakes. But oftentimes a fool is a lot wiser than a wise man because he can turn pain into his advantage, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I know it's a bit of an oxymoron, but sometimes you just gotta let people go through whatever it is that they need to go through. And that's what I had to realize.
Right.
And so I spoke to my brother yesterday and I was like, you know, I apologize first and foremost. And then I acknowledged what he was going through because we're going through a very similar situation. And you just got to be a listening ear.
But
man.
did you dissect why you did that? And,
Absolutely.
And for me, and I don't know your situation, whatever, but you going through some stuff.
Yeah.
You got a life of your own. And this mama calling me talk about his little problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a real big issue where you like, yo,
Yeah.
Negro, you ain't called me, asked me about what I'm going through. You want me to come fix yours?
Right.
But I think there's one thing too that happens, and I think, you know, Jephte is right in the middle of this arc, and it's something that we all go through, is I think that with men, there is a, for quote unquote, lack of a better term, a hero's arc, so to speak. You know, I mean, iron doesn't sharpen iron without some friction and without some sparks, you know?
Right.
And so, you know, there is this process where we have to go through, you know, tempered steel and sharpen it and then get out to the other side of it to where it's like, I don't have to be so brutal with the blade anymore. I can be much more fluid, much more in flow. And so I think that's the real challenge, is that for men, it's not really a static destination. It truly is kind of a hero's arc of darkness to, you know, lightness, to where it's like, okay, now I see both sides. Because, you know, what you're talking about, hey, fool, you know, what are you talking about? Not being supportive, but then coming in later, I mean, both sides are not wrong, you know, but it's great that you embody both sides.
Yeah. Right.
So here's what I love to do as well. I love for individuals that are going through mental health right now, 5 to-do lists. What would you guys suggest to them?
Read.
I like that. Read.
Podcast,
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
Ronald,
Right.
you got to be saying this one, work out.
Yeah.
Right? Men always
Working
go to the
out
gym
for
to,
sure.
you know,
Yeah,
deal with
but
something.
reading, but yes, working out. But once you work out, you got to replace what's in the mind, right? Because you're replaying something over and over, and you're telling yourself something over and over every day. Even when I work out, right, I might do the squats and forget what it is that I just said during that workout. But once that workout is over, I got to go back to my own thoughts,
Right.
right? So I'm going back to those same thoughts so in order to really replace those thoughts, those negative thoughts, you got to read. Right. You got to read something that's going to be tangible, and that's something intelligent, and something that's positive, that's going to really replace what's going on that you're replaying over and over, to now encourage yourself. The Bible says that what David says, encourage yourself, right, in the Lord. That, and in that moment, he was going through a struggle that he had to encourage himself because there was nobody else around.
Right.
Right. So we ourselves as men,
guess he was a man, right?
right, have to encourage ourselves in the midst of the storm to be able to really get back to who you are. Because first you got to know who you are.
Right.
And in the midst of that, encourage yourself, and then yes, go work out.
Okay.
Yeah. So my thought on that is reason for working out. It's not to process the thought, but it's more so to feel the trapped emotions, the emotions that you can't bring yourself to feel. So you want to get to a level where your body has no choice but to secrete those emotions, right? And then second, get right with God. God is in you. God is everywhere. I'm telling you, man, having a relationship with God, however you have this relationship with God, it is crucial to put God first.
Yeah. Okay.
No matter what hardship you're going through.
Yeah.
And even if it's a marital issue, relationship, friendship, familyship, whatever you want to call it, don't make anything else your idol. God
over
has to
God
go first.
Good. Okay.
Which means you prioritize.
We just said that yesterday.
But because he had said something first, then did the whole God thing second. So I'm glad you fixed that.
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm hitting you guys with some rapid things. I just want you guys to tell me without even explaining what you would do in a situation, and we move into the next one. You go home, you have a woman that you love so much, you caught her with your neighbor having sex. What do you do? Ronald.
Man, that's...
We got to get back to Ronald. What do you do? What do you do? This quick reaction. What are you doing?
You got to bounce. You got to roll.
Right, you bouncing. What are you doing? What are you doing, Jephte?
I'll sit down and be like, hey, continue. Go ahead. Do pull out the camera.
What are you doing, Bernard?
I got to remove myself.
You got to remove yourself.
I like that.
Walk right back out.
You have a best friend. This is your guy right here. And there's a girl that you were crazy about, that you talk to him about all the time, and you find out he got with her. What do you do?
Move on.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah. Well, when you say move on, are you moving on with the friendship or
moving on with the friendship?
There's no issue with the friendship.
Right, there's no issue with the friendship. Yeah. Hey, move on. Go to another woman. There's many women out there.
Yeah.
She obviously chose you.
Because remember now, a lot of people go into mental health state because of these situations.
Right.
Yeah,
that
you can't. But you can't, like you said earlier. You can't be prioritizing a woman above all else.
Yeah.
Right.
God first.
Yes.
I like that. You get scammed.
You got to set your boundaries for sure.
Yeah.
But you can't, if it's something that you can't resolve, you also got to move on. But
Yeah.
you got to make sure that you're not just allowing an overstep. I mean, you got to make sure that you can resolve it. And if you can't, then you got to move on.
When you say get scammed, like, what do you mean? Like,
someone scam you out of money.
Okay.
Oh, if you can fix it, fix it. If you can't, then don't worry about it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
But you can't run from it.
I like that.
Yeah.
You have a job that you really love the job, but the boss that you have is just overbearing.
Encourage yourself. Again, go back to encourage yourself. You got to begin to say affirmations to yourself every day that allows you to go to work, to look at what you're going through differently until you can change your situation.
My take on that is obviously that boss is going through something, and I can't let their problem become my problem. I'm getting paid for 8 hours of my time. I show up for those 8 hours. I do the best I can for those 8 hours. If the boss is overbearing, that's their personality. And if I am not, or if I am an obstacle for the overbearing boss, then remove me.
Yeah.
And then find somebody else that you can be overbearing to.
You're making $3,000 a week, but you're living on your lifestyle is $4,000 a week. What do you do?
You got to trim quick.
Yeah, you got
to change some things.
Yeah, you got to trim the fat.
Yeah,
big time.
You got to get rid of the things that's really taking up more time than than need to be, and you got to think about what's adding value.
Right.
If something that's not adding value, and your expenses is $4,000, and you're only making $3,000, that means you got to change something.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and also there's different factors that are at play in a scenario like that, because then you have to consider like, well, what am I dealing with? Am I on survival mode? And then I'm dealing with like expenses from the past, and like, do I really have $3,000 a week that I'm actually, spending? Like it's all about the circumstances. And I feel like you're either gonna completely trim the fat and start counting out grains of rice and beans that you're gonna eat, or just keep your head up and take on more responsibilities, do more where you can bring in more income. It's all about what's most important to you.
You're in a relaxed mood. This person walk up to you from nowhere that don't know you and just slap you. What you do?
First, I'd look around.
They all about to lie to you, by the way. They about to lie.
Hey, I'm probably gonna slap him back. Be honest with you, in the heat of the battle. It's about to go down.
Yo, where's Ashton Kutcher? Like, come on, like, is this punch or what? Like,
Some random person.
where's my $1,000?
It's gonna startle me for a second, but listen, I'm gonna snap right back. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Take a real close look at that guy. That's all I know.
And he probably won't even get to hit me.
I'm just picturing this scenario. I'm just sitting down at the mall, minding my own business, and then just random person just whacks me right across the
Usually
face.
people don't get that close. You don't allow them to get that close.
That's
there,
what I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah.
So I feel because I'm automatically gonna feel somebody walking up to me.
But
Believe it or not, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's because of the social media stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to
people
get
do this.
famous.
Yeah.
They're coming and do some stuff to you where you.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I got one.
Yeah.
You had a child with someone and they refuse to let you see the child.
Ooh.
And you're a good man.
Yeah,
like,
that one I don't know. That one.
You got to help our audience.
Yeah.
My boys call me about this all the time.
No, listen.
I know someone who's going through
Or you with a woman, they got kids, you got kids, but the woman jealous of your ex,
No.
the one you had kids with. Like, what do you do in these situations?
I think there's a movie about that. Tyler Perry.
I'm just talking about real life.
No, but it's look, it was a
That's
good
hard,
movie.
yo.
Some stuff you got to write out. You
No,
know?
you
I
do.
mean, some
You
stuff
got to write it out.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. And it's all situational. Everything is situational awareness, right?
But that's why, I'm sorry to cut you
No,
off,
you're
but
good.
that's why it's so important for the young men to understand that their decisions are so important to make sure that they protect themselves, because you don't want to ride stuff out for 20 or 30 years.
Yeah.
Nah, you
Be
don't, because
very
again, like I
discerning.
said, everything is situational awareness.
Yeah.
So every woman is different, right? In that same situation, it'll be different from one woman to the next.
I do have an input on that though, because it doesn't matter who you get with. Just know that person is going to continue to grow and they're going to change,
Yeah.
right?
Right, without a doubt.
There's a saying that says, is this guy who was married to his wife, and he said, during the 50 years of my marriage, my wife changed 8 different times, and I had to be a different man for each version of my wife.
Yeah.
And it rings even more true now when I see my daughter. As she's growing, she's changing.
Right.
As she's growing, I have to change for her,
Right.
because I know that if I don't change for her, then it's not going to be good, right? Because not only is it good for me to change for her, but it helps me expand my consciousness,
Right.
to stay current with what's considered good for her well-being overall.
All right. So this is a real life situation that happened. Things happen afterwards, but I'm going to put you guys in a situation. You tell me what you guys would do. You live in a house with your wife for 25 years. You guys are struggling to make the mortgage at times. You find yourself working 3 jobs to make sure you're making the mortgage and making sure certain things are done. And then you find out your wife owned the house. What do you do?
Whoa. She owns the house?
Yeah.
But
The
you've
house
been
that
trying
you
to
living
make
in?
Yeah.
Wait, after you bought it?
No.
You've been working your butt off.
Yeah.
3 jobs and you found out that it's already been paid off.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Wow.
She owns the house. Yeah.
You're gonna have
That
to
ain't no wife,
solid
bro.
sit down and.
I mean, unless if she's some kind of mastermind and she has a plan for this money and she's moving the money in different ways, I would be like, what gives, you know?
I will, cause I'm changed, right? I'm transformed, right?
Yeah.
I'm different now. I will blame the man. The reason I'm blaming the man is because paying off things, finances, bills, it's a communication thing.
Yeah.
And that lady then feels safe to let you know that we got this handled. You can move on to something else. I would put that on that man and then that relationship. I mean, she has fault in that also, but at the same time, something big like that, I sell houses, so that's a big emotional purchase, right? An investment, whatever you want to call it. And it's funny that you say that because I've helped husbands and wives, and some of the wives and some of the husbands don't want to be a part of this whole situation.
Right.
So if something happens, they lose or they gain something.
Right.
You at the part. You didn't want to be a part of the situation at the beginning. So how you just all of a sudden you mad that something got paid off?
Whose phone is that? Yeah. So you guys want to hear the end of the story? Guy went into a whole mental health situation.
No.
Wow.
No.
Killed her.
No.
Wow.
That's it.
You know,
I'm sorry, guys. That's what happened. But
there's actually a story. I'd say just a little over a decade ago in Naples where a man killed his wife and his 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a man killed his 8 kids the other day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I think
what causes someone to do
I
something
think
like that?
this is why it's important. Mental health.
But I do think it points to something that really needs to be said amongst men.
Right.
And I do say that there's males and there's men, and men are a subset of males, and not all males get to this area.
Right.
And I think the men over here have one thing in common, and that is that they will sacrifice themselves, not others.
Right.
You know, they take that amount of extreme accountability.
Right.
And so I think in a scenario like that, a man entering in any situation, like you said, it's on the man, right? I think a man entering in certain situations has to know that he has to walk away with nothing at times.
Right.
You know, he just has to have that. You know, he doesn't want to play to that game.
Right.
But he has to understand that could be the ultimate outcome and be willing to step out and rebuild.
And that's a hard pill for a lot of men to swallow. So
it's hard, man, because, you know, again, just like I said, this for me, this right here is a safe space.
Right.
To be able to go to another man and say, hey, man, I have this issue. I need help. What do you think? Right? And I think a lot of times men don't have that to be able to feel safe to go to another man and say, hey, look, I have this issue.
Right.
What do you think? And how shall I handle this issue?
Yeah.
Right? So now we're going home, we're going to work every day, and we're feeling used. Right. As a man, we're constantly, if you got 3 jobs, paying the bills, right, and then find out your wife owns it, like that's hard. I'm busting my behind every day trying to pay the bills, and some bills I'm late on, and you're telling me you own the house?
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
Like, let's really think about the factors of what's going on and how long has this been going on. Right. That's the other thing that you got to think about.
Right.
Now, this man is waking up at 3, 4, 5 a.m. in the morning time just to go to work and work 3 jobs on a weekly basis. Right. Just to meet the bills. You know what I mean? Like, that means he's not spending time with the kids, not spending time with his wife. Right? He's not even getting his relaxation time, and it's a long time because he got to work 3 jobs. Right? And now to come to the wisdom and knowledge, understanding that you own this.
Yeah.
But that just shows you that he had no other platform to speak about this.
Right. So he had no friends. He couldn't have. Right? If he snapped like that, there was no friends.
Right.
There was no outlet.
He's been building up.
Big time. And that's been going on for some time because now I'm mad, number one, because I got to work 3 jobs.
You already exhausted.
You're already,
I'm tired already,
isolated,
right? The kids are getting on my nerves. We're probably having arguments from time to time as a husband and wife. And now I find out and get the knowledge that you own this house and I don't have to work. And I didn't have to work 3 jobs all this time. Let's really make it make sense. Now, he shouldn't have not snapped like that and killed him.
Right.
But the other flip side is that woman should have been told him a long time ago.
So,
but there is no, but to your point though, there is no sympathy on the masculine side.
No,
there's no
sympathy.
That don't mean that don't give him permission to do what he did.
No,
right.
But I'm just acknowledging the isolation of that guy.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, there's
no reason to go that far.
You do it on the flip side. You got ABC News and 20 other organizations coming out.
The next hard thing, and here's the thing: a lot of men are going through a lot of these things because of the things that are happening to them.
Yeah, right.
This other guy had 5 kids with this woman. 5. The oldest one was 17 years old, and I want to say they're going on about maybe year 22. He find out not one of those kids was his.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. That happens a lot too.
Bruh.
Wow. Wait, 5 kids?
Yeah.
22 years together?
Mm-hmm.
See, and these are the things that...
wow. See what I'm just saying?
But that's what makes a man. Now, after 22 years, I've been with this woman, and none of these kids are mine, and I've been taking care of all of them. And now I'm, quote unquote, in my head, I'm the father, but now I'm not?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, it's...
you really can't speak on it because you haven't been through it
right,
in
you
such
haven't
a way.
Been through it, yeah,
but you got to think about from what you yourself been through already.
Yeah.
As a man, and you think about the simple factors of now 22 years, 5 kids, the oldest one is 17, and now I'm finding out none of these kids are mine.
Come on.
I mean, it is a very compromising state, your mental state, because there's your moral obligation to these kids. And then there's also this feeling of betrayal that you're sensing. It's like this whole entire time, you got me believing that these children were my children. How could you?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like I've already invested so much time with them, right? It's what do I do? I'll be in their lives, but I'm not going to be with you. If that makes any sense. It is.
That's challenging.
It is very challenging.
Men need it.
But I think the other thing too, to what you're discussing is that and I don't like talking about systematic stuff that much.
Right.
But at the same time, men really need to acknowledge and share the information that the way that this system is set up is really, quite frankly, against us a bit.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you're isolated alone.
Right.
And so you've been working at this ideal for 20 years, and all of a sudden you realize that what you're working for is completely wrong, and there's no support system, and it's like, what did I just do for 20 years? And it can become an explosive situation, but nobody's really discussing it. We're discussing it here, but trying to get it down to the younger men and, the guys coming up. It's a real challenge to educate them, but what they're doing is they're just tapping out at this point. They're not even trying.
I have a very interesting input on the double standards, this whole systemic double standard thing. One of the greatest things that I've noticed is, especially at the gym, it's motivation for me too. The women, they will wear some of the best outfits.
Well, that's
quote unquote best outfit. But if a man were to do the very same thing, he would be escorted out. Meaning, wearing anything that's bulging out in the front, right, where his private's bulging, that's considered inappropriate, and he would be escorted out.
Right.
And I've seen a video where things like that has happened.
Right.
Right. And it's more of a social experiment, just to kind of show the the double standards in society. And unfortunately, double standards are a real thing, and being a man is having to accept some of those double standards.
It's been around for so long. Society accept certain things.
Absolutely.
And society don't accept certain things.
Yeah.
So one of the things I wanted to tell you guys, because I did have someone that wanted to come on the show that I wasn't sure how we were going to able to handle it. And I said, let's leave that for the next show, which is possibly going to happen. And this guy he's a homosexual. And so, and that's something hard for a lot of people to handle. That's not necessarily acceptance of that world.
Right.
We got to deal with it because they're there. So it's what does those conversations look like? Not trying to get the input from you guys on that, but what I'm telling you guys is that was supposed to happen. I didn't have much fit in. I didn't have much fit in for that for the show. So with me saying that is now, is it important for these young men to have mentors?
Absolutely.
Yes. Most definitely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
What do you say to moms that feel like it's okay for them to just be the one raising their kid without the man?
Not a good idea.
It's two things because of what I see.
Yeah.
And I'm around the kids, the youth. It's two things. You got the moms that's saying that, I can do everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, again, we got to blame ourselves
Right.
sometimes because we walked out, we shut down,
Right.
and they said, I got to do it, right?
Right.
And they prayed for
Yeah.
independence and all that stuff. So they got to blame themselves a little bit too.
Right.
Because you wanted that job that's like a man and get paid like a man. So you
Right.
deal with those things.
Yeah.
And then you got some mothers, women, that pick the wrong man.
Yeah.
And when I say that, they go to the little league football coaches or, the ones that they utilize these women for clout, things like that, right?
Right.
And those are two things where the mentor, you think they mentors, but you just not picking the right people. You're not putting your children around the right individuals.
Right.
But I challenge, man. I challenge you. It's like going to the gym. You go 315, I go 370. So we have to realize that we are leaders.
Yes.
You're not that 15-year-old boy. You're not his friend.
Right.
You're not. You supposed to be the one that's chastising him and telling him, "Hey, listen here, pull up your pants, do these things." The things that we hated when we was growing up.
Right.
I don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
Because everybody want to be cool. Everybody
Right.
want to be smooth. Everybody want to be somebody's friend and stuff.
Right.
No, but we respected those coaches that said, "Hey, go to class, sit
Yeah.
your tail in the front,
Yeah.
ask questions."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of the coach saying, "Hey, just make sure you get a C."
Yeah. So
Yeah.
right now we're at the top of the hour, and so we definitely want to just kind of add some plugins on where you would suggest for individuals that are going through mental health a to-do list, some action items. After they listen to the show, okay, what can they take away?
I think the hardest thing is to get connected, to reach out to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say that would be the first thing that I would recommend because, of course, pray. But after that, I think you really need to reach out to somebody.
Yeah, for sure. I would say, because I make candles. I love making candles. And I always like to use the candles as a symbolic meaning for yourself to affirm who you are, to get back to where you're supposed to be. And what I mean by that is that I always tell people when they buy a candle to choose one word.
Yeah.
One word that identifies with who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's something that's going to bring you back to life, not what people tell you, not what you tell yourself every day, but something that when you're in your most darkest hour, right? That's something that everything is, you feel like everything is going wrong.
Yeah.
What is this one word that you can say that's going to bring you back to who you really are, right? That's going to remind you, this is who I really am. Like for me, I always say over and over, I am love.
Yes.
Right? So it reminds me of who I am and whose I am.
Right.
Right? Knowing that God is always in control. So I always got to remind myself that. So if I was to say anything, again, it's always about affirming you first before somebody else affirms you, because nobody can speak to you the way you can speak to you. So it's about having that positive affirmation or that positive word that's going to really bring you back to life and bring you back to remembering who you really are.
Love that. Jephte?
My advice to you is study your mind, study your brain, and find someone you can identify with as a father figure or someone that models your level of success. And don't be afraid to ask them for mentorship. My first attempt at mentorship was just me at work one day. And I simply said, hey, I like what you stand for. I really want to pick your brain. I'm wondering if you could mentor me at least a couple times a week. We could sit down, have coffee. We can talk about a few things, pick each other's brain. And just from it being more of a structured mentorship, it became more organic, and the friendship deepened, and the trust started to really get there to the point where I can become a little bit more vulnerable.
Beautiful.
And I think that's how it usually has to start out.
Yeah.
It's really, mentorship is key, whether it be your, an uncle, a father figure. It literally any older male gentleman. If they're older, they model your version of success, and you see how they work, you see how they navigate life. It never hurts to just ask.
Beautiful. Bernard?
I was going to say mentorship. That's very important. But what I would say, something that I've learned recently, is to love people.
Yeah.
Is to show love.
Yeah.
Because it's frowned upon for a grown man, 6'3", 270, to show love to a teenager, show love to another man, show love to individuals that you're not supposed. That doesn't look right.
Right.
But when you carry yourself around knowing that you are loving on someone, you can take somebody stabbing you in your back. You can take somebody trying to curse you out. You can take things not working your way like they supposed to, or you walking in the house and something that not supposed to be there. So once you start really loving people, man, your mentality, your reaction totally changes, and it slows everything down for you.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
very powerful. And don't be afraid. Like I said, that was my thing. Don't be afraid to really, really love, because society tells us you're not supposed to, right?
I do have an add-on to what you just said, and so I'll say go ahead and love people, but don't love to the point where you lose respect for yourself.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, love that. Listen, guys, you guys got a few gems. You guys are welcome. But it's important. Find God. If you don't know God, find mentors. Whoever that look like. Pay attention to detail. Love. It's a beautiful thing. It's to be continued, because there's a lot of stuff that we didn't get to tap into. We got other people that wanted to be on the panel. If we had put everyone that wanted to be in this room, and I'd left so many people out that wanted to be on the panel, hey, you can be on the next one. We'll have a bigger space. But we do have the men's mental health coming up. I mean, it's only limited to 100 guys. So, if you know Bernard or myself, there's a possibility you might be able to get an invite. But I don't know if we're already full. Are we full already?
We almost there, but we are accepting donations and sponsorships.
Yes.
You can easily donate by texting MAN, M-A-N, to 53555. It gives you the sponsorship tiers and things like that, or you can just give a generous donation. This event is free for all men, but we do need to be able to pay for the photography, pay for the venue. It's at the Grand Desert. This will all be happening January 23rd, 2027.
Yes.
January 23rd, 2027.
It's beautiful.
And, this is going to be a big platform for us to open up and talk, a safe platform to really get down with this stuff.
And is it safe to say the three men here got them a ticket?
Yeah, you got y'all invited.
All right. So listen, guys, and you guys will get the information when the official video comes out with all the information at the bottom of the screen. Again, I did mention the number that you guys could have called in, but I figured that we should have had it on the screen so they could have did that. So my apologies on that, guys. Next time you guys will get to conversate with us. But hopefully we have covered some areas that you guys need answers to. And if not, we're going to be doing this again. And so we'll pick it up from there. So until our next episode, where we have another decorative guest, as we had today, right here in EOS Club. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in and downloading this episode of Stories to Create. We appreciate you being part of this growing community of storytellers and listeners. If today's conversation inspired you, please share the show with friends, family, or anyone who could use a little motivation in their journey. A special thank you to our sponsors, EHAS Organization, Cornell Bunting LLC, and Nostril Cheese Chase for supporting the mission and making this podcast possible. To learn more about our work, upcoming projects, and how you can get involved, be sure to visit www.hissinkorg and www.cornellbunting.com. Until next time, keep creating, keep growing, and remember, your story has power.